Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel, and in this video we're going to be talking about the anti-frost plates that are mounted in the engine block of a Massey Ferguson. Now the anti-frost plates are very thin concave metal pieces that are inserted into the engine block, and they are there to protect the engine block for frost damage. Now you might remember that the engine I have here had lots of damage of frost, and you've probably seen it in my previous videos. And in fact, some of these anti-frost plates popped out, and the whole purpose of it is that when your cooling system isn't sufficient enough and you still get frost inside, you get ice inside your cooling system, then the ice will expand and normally it would crack the block. But with these openings in the block and these anti-frost plates, it isn't going to happen. It's going to pop out, the anti-frost plates. So if you see an engine with a popped anti-frost plate, that's an engine that has suffered from frost damage. But you can replace them. They are not very expensive, and as you can see, they are what we call concave, kind of hollow here. So if you place them in there and then you knock them into place, that the surface gets bigger and they lock themselves into place. So that's what I'm going to do. Now also you may find anti-frost plates like this one in a block, and this one is one of them. It's really a bit rusty because they oxidize. So sometimes it's not always necessary that the engine had frost damage when you see leaks coming out of it. It may also be that they are corroded and rusted through, so then you might have to replace them as well. Replacing them is not that hard to do. Just buy the right size. They come in all kind of diameters, and I'll show you how to knock them in. But to take them out, that might take a little bit more effort, although it's not that hard. I typically drill a hole in it, and I'll show you that in a minute. And then I put a metal bar in it, where at the end I have kind of a hammer on it, and I can actually knock it out. Let me show you that on how I do that. The easiest way is to drill a hole in it, and I already drilled a hole in this one and that one, and then just take a metal bar of some sort and try to stick it in and pull it out like that. That's how easy it is. And now we can clean up the openings because they are a bit dirty, because you want to clean up the edges as much as you can. Now it's time to clean up the holes before you put the new plates. And if you put the new plates, make sure they are the right diameter. Now I'm going to do this with a Dremel because that's quite handy. So let's clean it up. Actually, I use a brake cleaner to clean up the sides because that's a good degreaser. And finally, before I actually put the plates in, I will put a little bit of a gasket seal on. Not much, but just a little bit. Because it's an old engine and it may not fit that perfect anymore. I'll do the same thing here. And now to put the new anti-frost plate in, you have to make sure that the hollow side is facing inwards. Always a good check is knock on it with a screwdriver And if you hear a non-solid sound, then you know it's not fitted properly. But those are, and you have to be very careful with the dimensions because they almost look the same, but they are not. See, there's a bit of difference, just a few millimeters. And if you take the smaller one, then it will go in, but it can't expand enough, so, and it will pop out very quickly. So you have to have the right size, like this one. So be very careful with that when you order the pieces. You always should measure the diameter of the opening. So guys, this is how you mount new frost plates. It's a piece of cake and it's very cheap and you can easily do it. It may not always be that easy to get at it because you may have the starter in the way, because I had to remove the starter to get to it. But it's certainly worthwhile doing it, certainly on an old engine. I would even recommend to replace them on a very old engine because they could be corroded. And the last thing you want is while you're using your tractor that actually they pop out or they break or there's corrosion through it. In fact, I might even have one which had a lot of corrosion on it. I thought I had one laying on the ground here. Oh, this is one which was really corroded through. Yeah? See how bad that is? It's really, really bad. So, and this has been in the tractor for about 25 years. So you can see it's really not good. All right, thank you for viewing and I'll see you in my next video. Bye.